Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to talk about one of the questions I regularly get asked, which is why does my image never look the same in camera as it does when I am actually there? Now think about this. When you are in your scene and you are looking around, your iris is constantly changing. It's letting more light in when you look at the shadows, and it's letting less light in when you look at the highlights. Now your camera, although when you point it around and it's metering and looking at all this different light levels, the aperture can get wider or narrower depending on what setting you've got it on. It will change when it's looking at your scene in order to get the settings right for one particular shot. It can only record one photo, so one light level. Okay. Within that light level, you can see your shadows, your midtones, and your highlights. Okay, and the camera records a range, and it's called the dynamic range. So a certain amount of detail between the highlights and the shadows. In the middle, you have the midtones, and it does this as well as it can to produce you a nicely balanced photo with your highlights, shadows, and midtones. When you are looking at your scene, because your eye is constantly changing depending on where you're looking, that would be the equivalent of taking one photo for the shadows, one photo for the midtones, one photo for the highlights, except you're not recording one image with your eye. You are looking throughout your whole scene. So your eye is always assessing that scene. Okay, so you're always seeing a range of shadows, highlights, and midtones as you look around your scene. So therefore, it doesn't work if you try to compare what you see to one photo when your camera has recorded just one shot and got the range that it has. Okay, so how do we overcome this? Because some photographers do create a photo where you can see a lot of detail from the darkest shadow through to the brightest highlight. The way that they do this is they take multiple exposures. Now, exposure in photography means brightness value, essentially. So they will take a very dark photo, which will have detail in the highlights. And then they'll take a slightly less dark photo, slightly less dark photo, then maybe correct exposure, then a little bit brighter, then a little bit brighter again, and then a very bright photo. Now, the very bright photo is going to have detail in the shadows because we've lifted the exposure so we can see those darker areas. Much like when we look into a shadow area, we cover our eyes from any bright light, and that allows our eyes to adjust so we can see those dark areas. Now, hopefully this is starting to make sense. Our camera can record multiple light levels throughout the scene, and you would either have to do this manually or you might have a bracketing option in your camera. So bracketing essentially means taking more than one photo with some variables. Okay, and in this case, it's exposure bracketing. So our variable is the exposure. Now, once we have taken our range of photos from our darkest shadow to our brightest highlight, and you can choose how many you take, it could be 5, 7, 9, as many as you need to take. You would then take those photos to your computer. Now, you need to be able to edit to do this. Some cameras will do it in camera, but you get a much better result if you do it yourself. So I recommend Lightroom Classic because it's the most user-friendly way to do this. And I do teach how to use that. So if you're unfamiliar, send me a message or leave a comment and we can get in touch about doing a session. But essentially, you will take those raw files. You need to be shooting in RAW if you're going to edit your photos. You're going to put them onto the computer and you're going to say, right, Lightroom, select this one, my darkest dark, through to my brightest bright. And in the middle, you'll have a correct exposure according to the camera. And then we'll say, merge these together. And when you merge them together, the computer will figure out which of the detail and which of the shots it's going to use to push together. And it will give you a preview of what your file will look like. And it's called a HDR file, high dynamic range. And you will then be able to see a lot more detail within that picture. Okay, so it will generate one file for you with all of that information from all of your files in one shot. Once you have that image, you can then tweak things. So you could change your shadows, your highlights, you can change your contrast, your saturation, whatever you would usually do to edit your photo, but you will have a lot more information in those very bright areas and those very dark areas to bring back. So if the scene you were shooting was really contrasty, let's say it's a stormy day and you're photographing the beach and there's some rocks and they're quite dark and then there's lots of breaks in the sky. Usually if you take one shot, you'll lose some shadow details or you'll lose some highlight details. But if you've taken multiple shots and merged them together with your differing exposure range, you will have detail in those highlights and you will have detail in those shadows. You might have to bring them out after Lightroom has created your preview, but it's there. That detail is there for you to play with. This is how landscape photographers get an image which looks much closer to what they actually saw when they shot it. I hope this has clarified some things for you. Let me know if you have any questions at all. This is a session I teach, so if you would like to come down to Devon, meet me, we can take some photos in the woods, then we go off to the beach. Usually do this around Sidmouth area because it's quite close. We'll take a range of exposures of the different scenes, and then we can go back to the studio. I'll teach you how to merge them together using Lightroom and show you how to get that one photo that looks how your eye saw it when we were shooting. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please like and subscribe. Share this video with anyone you think might be interested, and also comment too. Any engagement is great for me. It's great for the channel. Obviously, it's good for me to get followers, but I really want to help as many people as I possibly can. And I really appreciate your time watching the video. I'll see you soon.